Welcome to the Healing Incubator podcast. I am your host, Kiana F. Brown, the forgiveness expert, and we are all about the truth, forgiveness, and healing. You are entering a controlled environment where there are others who are reaching to grow in their entrepreneurial journeys, personal lives, and self-care. Are you ready to heal? Hey guys, welcome back to another amazing episode of the Healing Incubator podcast. As you know, I am your host, Kiana F. Brown, the forgiveness expert, and I'm truly excited to be here tonight. So some of you have been following the podcast journey with me, and we had amazing Dr. Nina Anderson with us literally maybe about a month or two ago, and I don't know what happened. The audio crash. I don't know, guys, but I am excited to have her back here. And we're making sure that this does not happen again because she has some phenomenal information to share with you all, especially in the areas of healing. And we're going to tap into the process of forgiving. Now, I have a quote that I wanted to share, and it is by Marie Forleo. She says, "Never start a business, just make money. Start a business to make a difference." Never start a business just to make money, but start a business to make a difference. And I believe that this quote is so befitting for Dr. Nina because she is doing some amazing things with the business that she started because it's not just all about money. So guys, get excited. We are about to bring in Dr. Nina.
Hi, how are you? Glad to see you again.
Excited. I am glad to see you again. You know, we have to make it a business to see each other outside of this instead of just the podcast. And I'm going to share some things with you outside of the podcast that maybe we can do together. But we want to make sure that our listeners and viewers, because now we're visual, will get the opportunity to meet you and to find out about everything that you're doing, especially in the area of sickle cell. Right? There are some amazing leaps and bounds that you probably have taken since the last time we've spoken. So I'm not going to introduce you as far as what you do, bio. I want you to let our listeners and viewers know exactly who you are and what it is that you do.
Thank you for having me. And I think you gave me a great introduction. As I had stated before, I am a doctorate nursing prepared nurse. And so I graduated from Thomas Jefferson University. And I started a primary specialty care clinic in the Philadelphia region that extends into New Jersey, Delaware, and Philadelphia, to provide holistic, compassionate care services for those living with sickle cell anemia. And, it's been such a great journey of mine because, as you know, sickle cell, when I first started, this was a specialty that not too many people and healthcare providers wanted to practice in for many reasons, as you were saying, that there is not a lot of money that you can make in it, but you can really make a difference if we really provide a very good high quality care model. And so I took that leap of faith and decided, a colleague of mine said that there wasn't any adult care providers. After kids left out of the children's hospital, there was no bridge of gap to receive their care during the transition process. And I had worked on a long-term study with a colleague of mine named Dr. Balas, where over 10 years in the 90s, we tracked all of our kids that transitioned out of the children's hospital. And we published that data in the American Journal of Hematology, I believe. And we found that we lost about 30% of our kids within the first 5 years after transition. So I took that leap of faith. I said, we've got to do something. We've got to make a difference. We have to make sure that they get access to high quality care once they leave the children's hospital. So that's what I've been doing. And I started TOVA in 2014.
Awesome. Awesome. So, I just want to say kudos to you. And I know that those people who are now able to get that health care as an adult, especially in your region, are excited about what you're bringing to them, new leaps and new bounds, especially in the area of healing. Now, I want to talk a little bit about your practice and how maybe challenging it might have been, and if you had any setbacks, like any, oh, let me double think this, should I really be doing this, should I not be doing that, what was that like for you to actually get into the space of this entrepreneur journey, especially with trying to help your patients?
I want to say it was challenging for first reason. My background is in nursing, but I have a lot of years of experience working with the sickle cell community. And then, you go and you want to talk to the hematologist, you want to talk to providers in the area, like saying, hey, I want to start this program. And then you get these naysayers that say, why are you doing this? It's not going
Mhm.
to work. You tried this before. And so, as you really have to dig deep in your soul and say, this is something that I feel passionate about and I want to do, regardless of what anyone says. I feel I can make a difference. And you just have to keep trudging forward. And,
Mhm.
you build people around that, you meet people, you build a network of people that support you. It may
Mhm.
not be locally, it may not be from your family, but you find those people that really
Yeah.
believe in your vision and you just keep moving forward.
Yes. Now, there's something that you said that really makes sense to me, especially right now. I am tapping into something really, really different. I am creating short films. And
Mm.
as a result of that, I'm actually putting it out this Friday, actually, when this is coming out later that evening. And there was a somebody posted on Facebook about people not quitting and not stopping because of the people who are closest to you that are not going to support you to continue
Mhm.
to follow your dream, to continue to inspire to do great in whatever it is that you're trying to do. Now, is there someone that has been close to you that tried to kind of deter you away from pushing forward with this goal?
I would say probably people in my family, close family, because
Mhm.
I don't want to say their name, but I had those who said that I need to find another job. I needed to take
Mm,
that career back that I had in working with children with cancer because it seemed more lucrative and
mhm,
more sustainable. And so you get a lot of that. I would say my family, some of those individuals were more of a deterrent than anyone else. But I dug deep in my soul and I said, this is something I want to do. You either
mhm.
support me, you don't. I still love you one way or the other. I have to keep moving forward.
Now, what was it like when they did that? Did you have like those questions like, okay, Nina, are you really gonna do this, Nina? Is this really gonna be able to sustain you in moving forward with this? Like, I want to know. Basically, I want to know if there were any times where you said, "No, I'm not going to do this," and if there was, how did you move forward with that thinking to actually accomplish this goal?
Yes, that's a good question. And I would say yes, when you hear these type of comments and yes, your salary isn't as competitive as someone with your same credentials and years of experience, and you looking at your financial statements, you do get a little discouraged at times. But the other thing about as entrepreneurs, as you said, we're always looking for ways to expand the capacity of our services and as our business model. So, I've been very fortunate because I just don't do sickle cell. I can also see clients that have for primary care and family practice. I also am very much versed in holistic care and naturopathic medicine through my grandma, who was a Black Seminole Indian. And one of the first books that she gave me to read was Guard the book. Oh, goodness, I'm Garden of Eden, Back to Eden. Have you
Okay.
ever heard of that?
No,
Back
but I'm
to
gonna look
Eden.
it up.
So Back to Eden is one of, I would say it's been around many years, but it's I would say the Bible of vitamins and
Mm,
all kinds of holistic ways to manage many different conditions. So she taught me a lot. And then, on the weekends, one of the places we went to besides the mall was we would always go to the natural food store, and she
okay.
would get teas and she would buy all kinds of vitamins to take for many different things. And I think that's what kept her alive all those years. I mean, my grandma lived to be 98 years of age, so I was very blessed
Mm,
to have so many years with her. Um, but the second part to it is, as an entrepreneur, like you said, we're always looking for other ways to expand. And so sickle cell is very much dear to my heart. But then
mhm.
I had to sustain the practice with other streams of revenue. So I did a lot of grant writing for clients, as well as I'm
Oh,
a
you
senior
do grant
research.
writing? Yeah, like, I'm finding these
Yeah.
things out. Okay.
Yes. So I, took on some grant writing
Y'all hear
tasks
that, listeners,
services
right?
for clients. And I also took an appointment as a senior research fellow at Delaware State University. So I also precept students.
Look at
So,
that, multiple streams of income. See, y'all got to have
yeah,
especially in this season that we're in right now. You have to have multiple streams of income.
exactly. Yes.
Wow. Now, speaking of that, having multiple streams of income, uh, how has coronavirus impacted your business, if it has impacted you at all?
It has impacted my business tremendously because, as a healthcare provider, I'm also an essential worker. I'm
Mhm.
going out and still seeing clients, during this time. But one of the things that I think was important that my medical director and I is we were offered telemedicine services to our clients before COVID for the last 3 years. And
Mhm.
it really never took off. People were saying, I'm not down with the technology. I don't want to do it.
Now
Um,
they got a choice.
and then they had no choice. And so it just took off in leaps and bounds. And
Wow.
so we kind of adjusted that and we switched, a lot of our clients and all of my clients know how to use the telemedicine platform. So we've been focusing on trying to flatten that COVID curve. We still see clients in our office, but we also do a lot of virtual visits, which
Mhm.
also it's an area or a service area that I think is here to stay as a healthcare provider. So, as a small business owner, we have to be nimble and we have to constantly adapt and change to sustain our business and really to provide safe care for our clients as well.
But look at how God already had you set up for what was to come, where some people were probably trying to scrounge around, like, what am I going to do? How am I how am I going to get
Hmm.
this done? And here it is, you're doing it. You're already
Yeah.
doing it. So he just pretty much gave you the groundwork for what was to come. And a lot of people uh don't even realize how some of the things that you were doing beforehand are able to happen, or they don't realize that it's not always for that season, but you have to
Hmm.
keep staying activated in that, so that you can use
Exactly.
it for when he is going to bless you, for it to multiply. That
Right.
is truly, truly amazing. So, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a quick break. We're going to go to a short commercial break where
Okay.
people can find out about this premiere that I'm having this Friday about forgiving the season. And I believe that it's going to touch so many people's hearts, and help them to start think about things in a different way. So let's check this out together. Guys, we'll be right back. Hey, girl.
Hey. What's up? Why did you have your face blocked for graduation? Why haven't you been calling me back? Why you sound so sad, girl? Why do you look like you're not eating?
Why all the questions? Look, I answered this time. Let's just roll.
Okay, girl. But seriously, what's going on?
I don't understand how you cannot be upset at all this. I mean, you act like you don't even know what's going on around you. People are dying left and right. The school is closed. We didn't even get to go to prom. And then they had a stupid virtual graduation.
All right, guys, we are back. We are back. I hope you enjoyed that short clip of what's to come, just a little teaser. And it's pretty much about what's going on in our worlds today. And so I just wanted to bring that to the forefront so that people can actually have a visual. Sometimes we go through a lot of things in our head and we're not able to process them because we don't get them out. So speaking of not being able to process, what are some challenges that you felt in this season that you haven't been able to process, and how did you champion through that?
I would say, as an essential worker, it's been very stressful because, I'm screening patients, I'm diagnosing them, I'm trying to keep them out of the emergency room and hoping that I made the right decision. My goal is to keep all of my clients safe, and we want them to get through this pandemic. So it's very stressful. I mean, you come home, I still have a family to take care of. And there was times, I have to say, for the first 2 months of COVID that I wasn't sleeping well. And was just so anxious and really had to take a deep dive breath back and just stay centered, try to get more sleep, and really reach out to my colleagues. I talked to my colleague who was a psychologist. I even had her on my Tova Tuesday episode to talk about how we can get through this COVID pandemic and how I can share and educate my clients to stay centered and stay positive during this time. And then, other colleagues like social workers I've had on Tova Tuesday to talk about seasonal depression, to how to reduce anxiety, during these uncertain times. And so, what I found is that there are so many people that, have the expertise that can help. We have to be willing to do that. And as healthcare providers, sometimes we're the ones that kind of neglect ourselves. And so we have to be able to share and say, hey, we're just like anyone else. We're going through it as well. And those support systems really helped sustain me. And I hope my clients as well.
Wow, that's awesome. And that goes right along with the motto of the podcast, to get to the truth. And then you have to activate in a space of forgiveness, which that forgiveness allows for you to get to the step of healing. And so in this season, a lot of people have not been able to face the truth. They've just been going on about life as normal, or as normal as can be, with the conditions that we are faced with. And so I thank you for bringing that to the forefront. But you said something about it's Tova Tuesday?
Yes.
Okay. Can you share with our listeners about that? Because I'm pretty sure you have a platform where they might be able to go back and look at some of those Tova Tuesdays. Can you share with us how they can do that?
So you can go to our website at www.tovacommunityhealth.org, and you can click on all of our Tova Tuesday episodes. And so we started this back early before COVID. And then when COVID hit, I started bringing on healthcare professionals to talk about these issues. So I had, Dr. Scott Jones, who's a psychologist at Delaware State University, talk about how to stay centered
Mhm.
during these uncertain times. And then I had a colleague of mine who was a licensed clinical social worker talk about physically distancing does not mean isolation. So, how do we still connect with our loved ones, even though we may have to not be in their presence as much as we used to? And
Mhm.
then learning how to adapt to the new normal. So, I had healthcare professionals talk about that as well. But what I found is that we are very creative and that this is an opportunity for growth as a
Yes.
healthcare professional as well as an entrepreneur. So even in these hard times, there's opportunities to really reach more people virtually that we had never thought of before.
Wow, wow. Yeah, it has brought the world closer in a sense, even though we're so far apart from each other. And I know some people on social media have been like drowning and downpouring. I found myself on a little hiatus. I have a relationship with God, and in this season, he's actually told me that, to digress, because
Hmm.
I didn't want to uh how do I say this? I didn't want to put out um stuff just out of emotion. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? And some of the things that I saw were out of emotion. So it's great that you've had some people that have knowledge about being able to maneuver through different seasons and help other people with their mindsets, getting to their truth so that they can feel if they did go into a pit. Because I did. I actually went into a pit and I felt myself going there. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, Kiana, you're not going there, so I had to do some things to, have that realization that, hey, you have to, and it's okay, it's okay that if, people went there, but you have to remember that you have to get out of that place. So I'm grateful that you have that platform where people can actually go back and tune in and listen to some of those episodes. So guys, if you're out there, I'm all about sharing because it's caring, and it's going to be a caring thing if it's going to help your mental state. So
Yes.
right now, and it's not a secret because we've done this before, it is time for our oxygen mask. Now, some people who are just tuning into this may not know what the oxygen mask is. I'll explain. It's where words can breathe like fresh air. When we inhale motivation, it acts as oxygen, informing our brains to do a reset of our minds. Please share a minute, Dr. Nina, with us that will help inspire and motivate our listeners and transform their lives.
Wow, that's a good one. I would say just taking time. I have what I call a mindfulness room where I just sit. There's no TV in there. I have candles. I have my lavender scent, and I just stay present. I take 10 big deep breaths, close my eyes, and then I say a positive thought. I
Wow.
do that. And I would say that that helps to re-challenge us and make sure that we can get all of those negative energies out of our system. Because a
Mhm.
lot of times what we worry about aren't necessary things that actually come true. And we work ourselves up, into the stress that can impact our physical health. So I would say that I say 10 words that inspire you. And every day, take deep breaths and say those words. And you don't have to share them. One of mine is resilience and
Mm.
persistence. And that's something that I constantly say, I constantly reverberate because, as you know, there's so many different challenges and obstacles that we're facing with all
Yes.
of that's going on. But we just have to continue to move forward. And I have been so surprised that there have been opportunities that have come out
Mm.
of this. And it is not all doom and gloom as some may feel.
Yes, it has been amazing. It always baffles me how the time just flies, especially when we're having fun, we're sharing information. I wanted to end with something that you said, to do it no matter what they say. To do it no matter what they say. And I want to encourage everyone to remember that whatever your dream is, your goal is, if you have allowed for someone to step in and allow for that, what I like to call stinking thinking to happen, then you can get in a place of
Hmm.
and forgive yourself. Get to that truth of realizing that you allow for those people to enter into your zone. And as Dr. Nina said, do it no matter what they say. So
Yes.
it's been truly, truly amazing having you with us again.
Thank
And I would
you.
love if you could share to our listeners and viewers how they can stay connected with you.
So thank you. As I said, Tova Tuesdays is on our Tova Health TV channel on YouTube. You can also visit us on our website at www.tovacommunityhealth.org or on our Facebook or Instagram page at Tova Community Health. We would love to connect with you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. So I know, as usual, you're like, oh, wow, she has such another amazing guest. Blow you out of the water with information. Really, really quickly, I want you to share about the practice, about the sickle cell. I was just reading the other day one of my friends' pages on social media who I really didn't know she struggled with the sickness or the illness. What is something that you could give or a bit of information for them, because I know that it weakens their immune system. What is a way that they can help boost their immune system at this time, especially with coronavirus out there?
So I'll go back to my grandma Lil, who took me to that naturopathic food store. I would say at least 3 times a week, have a cup of green tea. It's a natural antioxidant. I put a little lemon and honey in it. And I'm telling you, this is very important. Our immune system has to be strong during these times to fight off not just the COVID, but other types of germs and infections that you can be exposed to. So having a strong immune system is one of the ways that we can fight this and combat this pandemic virus.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that tidbit of information. There's a book that you said, Back to Eden. I'm going to copy it. I'm famous for looking to see if there's something on Audible. So I'm going to look and see if I can find that there. If not, another book source. But that's a book that you recommend that's been out for years.
Yes.
That people who have illnesses of all kinds probably can find something. So thank you for that tip and thank you for that information. We want to thank you again for being another guest, another amazing guest on the Healing Incubator. And guys, remember to stay tuned. Next week, we're not going to have a guest, but we're going to have a dose of oxygen. And it's where I share on a topic really, really briefly, just to give you something to get you to that next week where we do have another amazing guest. Remember, we are now on Apple Podcasts as well. So check us out there as well. I'm excited about
You're doing great things.
Is going. I'm not doing it by myself. God is positioning us to be able to be a force that will help others in their healing journey, especially in the space of truth, forgiveness, and healing. So we want to thank you for you bringing all of your healing goods with us today, and we'll check you out next time. All right, guys, have an amazing
weekend. Thank you for having me. Take care.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
I feel so happy. I feel so good today.